So as of right now, I'm writing a new script for a film, a musical film that I want to do on Rock City. Um, I put a soca album together for them, soca Afrobeat album.
Hey!
Yeah, and I the way I put it together in like a story form. So each song tells a story within the film, and I just want to bring that to light. I want to make it into one full feature length film, and I'm still writing the script right now, just finishing it up actually as we speak. And then, of course, I'm gonna, have to go out there, try to find sponsorship and everything like that to put it all together and start to make a movie and get it out there for the people. So that's what I'm doing film wise. Of course, I'm still auditioning here and there, um, but a lot of my focus lately has been on being a road manager and a booking agent for Rock City, Jada Kingdom, Verse Simmons, and of course Timo by himself. So I've been really putting a lot of concentration into that, just getting a lot better with being a good road manager and being a really good negotiator as a booking agent, you know, to be able to make money for my clients and have them be able to get out there and do what they love by performing on stage. So, you know, that's really where I'm at now, man. That's really where the future is for me. Of course, still, like I said, still doing film, still directing, writing, still acting, but lately I've really been focused in on the road management aspect of music and the booking agency side of music, in which right now I only DJ for Akon. I don't DJ. I haven't DJed in any clubs or any festivals on my own for a long time now because I've really started to dive into the road management and booking agency side of things. So
I think it's not the obvious or visible part of the business, but it's so critical, right? And you said in prior engagements and interviews that you came into doing it because you were just helping friends out and kind of started as something of interest, like, oh, let me take that off your hands. And then people realize you're doing a great job. And so your work makes more work. Good work makes more work.
yes, yes, definitely. And again, when you're an artist or when you're a talent in the industry, you want to know that you have good people around you to help manage that part of your business, right? Trusting people that can help you manage that part of the business. And that's really all I'm doing. I'm a trusted figure to these people, and which is why, I really try to only take on people that I'm that close with, within that, because there's a level of trust that you have to have with people handling your business. You know what I mean? And too many times, man, I have seen people have the opportunities to steal big time from people. They just take advantage of them. And I just never wanted to fall victim to that. And I think sometimes people just ends up taking a blame or getting blamed for something because you wasn't known like that anyway within that circle. So you're the fall guy. Anything happens, yeah, I'm gonna blame you and fire you because you're expendable. You know what I mean? I think with Rock City or Jada Kingdom or Verse Simmons, Timothy, I'm more valuable to them. I mean, aside from even doing the business, we're friends. You know what I mean? So I would have their best interest at heart at all times because we could never do music again. I savor my friendships. You know what I mean? That's what I'm about. My friendship with my peoples is much bigger than any amount of music, any amount of money for me. So that's why I even go harder for any of them with that because I want to make sure they're happy, they're satisfied, and they're always taken care of for their business. You know.
Do you find any elements that I think artists who are women or identify as female may look out for specifically? And I ask that because I always think about some of my earlier experiences where people were just really like, oh, don't worry about the details, just do this. And I had the wherewithal, speaking about friends, and they were able to tell me, well, this is what professionals would do in this situation, right? So having people you trust, like apart from Google and the internet and copyright.gov and BMI guidelines and all these things, having people around who you implicitly trust can leave your house key, your phone, and your wallet
Yeah.
without wondering what will happen is so super important. But for people who are starting and kind of green, I always like to try to leave some trinkets. For me, it was go with your gut, right? If you don't have a sense yet, go with your gut because as our peer Richard Viale was saying, like the more you do work, you're gonna be able to see a scheme and a scam from a mile away. You're gonna be like, you
Right.
don't even have a press kit, you don't have a demo, you don't have a reel. How are you like coming to me as a professional? And you don't have all these things and requesting money, right? You don't have anybody who can vouch for you. You don't have any
Yeah.
professional references.
Yeah.
But I think for women, we kind of are taught to be nice, right? That's part of the image. And so when you're talking business and deals, nice might have to be a part of it but not the main. So what, if
Yeah.
any, advice you can give
So,
as a dad of three girls who may also want to be artists, right?
right. So for me, I always say, make sure you ask as many questions as possible. And if you don't understand a certain thing, do not stop asking that question. Don't move on to the next thing until you understand that thing. So you're gonna find people like what you just now said. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of this, and that, whatever the case. Sure, I can take care of something, but I need to make sure you understand what I'm taking care of, what this is. So keep asking the questions so that you can know for sure what's happening or what you're entrusting someone to do for you, right? Because you can't just say, yeah, that person handles this thing for me, but you don't even know what it is exactly that they're handling. You should know so that you can even keep your eyes closed and you know that that thing is being done, or you know how it's supposed to go. So when somebody else comes around to you and tell you something else out of the ordinary, you know it's out of the ordinary because you already know the way it's supposed to go, right? And then as far as a female being in this industry, we're still in that period where there are a lot more women coming out and being more vocal and doing more things and being in higher positions and stuff. So that whole men rule everything is slowly being broken down because there are some really cool women that really know their stuff, right? And all they're lacking is really just the opportunity or for a lot of the olden ways of things being done to be cast aside so that you can be in the position to be able to own your own and not just have a man be the person that's doing that, right? So we're getting to the point of where we're breaking that type of stuff down. But yes, you're still going to fall into, those positions of where some men are going to want to prey on it being a woman that's dealing with this thing and just their way of saying, oh, a woman just doesn't know, or you're lesser than, you know what I mean? So until women really start getting out there and showing and proving, or just showing out or creating their own and saying, oh, you don't want to let me in because I'm a woman? All right, I'm gonna create my own thing like that, and I'm gonna have the ambition to take it further than what you have going on because I was trying to do this with you and you didn't want to let me do it with you. So now I'm gonna go over here and then it's just your whole thing is just gonna become an afterthought because everyone's gonna want to be on this side of things. You know what I mean? So I would always say to them, just keep pushing in what they're doing. Don't be afraid to ask questions, man. Never be afraid to ask questions. And if you know that you're a woman that you don't want to put out, to learn a thing, don't be a woman that puts out. to learn a thing. And if you feel like you're in a situation where they're making you feel like you have to put out, leave from that situation.
You're
That
never
that
stuck. You're never stuck. Even when it
you're
feels
never
like
stuck.
you're
That is,
trapped, even when it
man,
feels like you're trapped,
let me tell you something. Too many times I've seen people that are like, man, you're the only person that can help me. How? How am I the only person that can give you this last $100 that you need to pay your rent? How am I the only person? You know what I'm saying? So women too have to get to that point where they're like, nah, you're not the end all be all. If I can't get this thing done with this person, I can move on. But sometimes some people, not just women, some people would make it feel to themselves like, nah, if I don't get with this person or this thing, I'm a complete failure and nothing else can happen for me in life. That is really not true. And that's not the way that it goes. You know what I mean? And you're going to find yourself wasting a lot more time trying to convince this one person of a thing that they're not getting or they don't even care about, when you could have been over here trying to create 5 other opportunities for yourself. But you have closed off all of that over there to just stick with this one thing that you're so determined that you have to have it this particular way. And that's just not the way that it goes. You know what I mean? And stop disregarding people that you know. You understand what I mean? You sometimes you know, hey, you know what? I have access to Benny. I want to do this thing that Benny has been doing. Let me call Benny and ask his advice. But then you have some people who's just like, I'm not calling Benny. That's gonna make me look like I'm weak or small or little. I'm not calling. I'm gonna just figure it out on my own. And then you wasted 8 more years. When I
waste.
could have just told you something 8 years ago that you would have been like, oh man, if I had just reached out. So don't let pride kill you, whoever you are. You know what I'm saying? Man or woman, doesn't matter. Don't let pride kill you. If you want to know something and you feel someone knows a thing, ask the question. If they say no, okay, cool. They don't want to give you the information, move on. But keep asking the question. You're going to find someone that's going to be willing to give you that information that you're looking for so you can be better at the thing. Or use Google. Get on Google, get on YouTube. There's a bunch of people that's giving the information out there. Stop making it like, oh, nah, if it's not with this one person or this one company, I'm a failure. Good luck with that. You know what I'm saying? So,
I think it sounds like we make a person or a corporation our God, right? And
sure,
that's the
happens
only
every
way.
day. Happens every day. A lot of times it happens to a lot of people. They get so stuck or fascinated or infatuated with a thing, and they be like, yeah, man, it's only about that. Like, you know how many people have come up to me and said, man, Benny, I just need you to introduce me to Akon because I can only see myself on his record label. And I'm like, only his record label? Like, that's the only one? Yeah, that's the only record label that I want to be on or that I can see myself being on. And I'm like, yo, you need a whole new perspective. That's no slight to an Akon. I'm just saying, when you have that type of a mentality that this is the only thing that you can do or the only way you can progress, that's very bad. And you're not going to do that through me. I know that much. Yeah, I'm not going to be the person that's just like, oh, yeah, this is the only place for you. Nah, man, cut it out. You know what I'm saying? So, that's always my thing when it comes to that and people who think like that.